John Wick, this movie was a big deal. Yes, it was. It's tremendous. Okay, let's get into it. Oh wait, what's the tagline? Don't set him off. John Wick is from 2014. It lasts about an hour and 41 minutes. Stars Keanu Reeves as the titular John Wick. Michael Nyqvist as Vigo, the crime lord. Yeah, he's a dead egg in this movie, but I love that actor. Sadly, he was taken from us just as his career was getting going in the West, and I thought it was great. And it also stars Willem Dafoe as Marcus. So this is a movie, an hour and a half. This is so good. Well, this is a movie, to me, it's much like Mad Max Fury Road. What do you mean? It's good, the looks great, the action's amazing, but the plot is paper thin. There's not much of a story. You are crazy. It's an emotional story about a dog. Well, no, the dog's featured, but that's... The whole movie is just one fight after another, after another, after another. Which is amazing. Well, it's fine, but, you know, it gets a bit samey towards the end. Well, you're mistaken, because there's 3 more sequels. Yes, there are 3 more sequels, but they're all the same thing again and again and again. I don't understand how these movies are so popular. Because they're amazing. They're so great. Well, we're all allowed to have different opinions. No, you're not. The movie begins with John Wick. His wife is dying. Yeah, she's dead by this point. Yeah, well, we see, like, what happened. She was ill for a while, and then she passed away, and he was so in love with her, she was so in love with him. They're a perfect couple.
We get it. We get it.
After she's gone, John receives a package at his front door. Yeah, he opens it up, and it's a little tutty dog. It's a cute little puppy. And it's an ongoing connection with his wife. She gifted him the puppy so he wouldn't be alone after she was gone. Ah, no story. Well, later that day, John goes to the gas station. Yeah, and he's there, he's in his cool car, right? And he's filling up, and there's these young punks, and they're like, hey Nan, I like your car. Well, they're like Russian accents. I can't do Russian. Okay, well, they're basically saying, I really love that car. Will you let me buy it? And John says, no, it's not for sale. And they're like, come on, don't be a fool. I'll pay you a lot of money for it. And John's like, no, it's not for sale. This is Yosef. Yeah, Yosef is the son of Vigo, who is the crime lord. It's him and his gang. And basically that night, they find out where John lives. Yeah, they follow him. Yeah. And they go to his house while he's asleep. And they beat him up. And they steal his car. And they kill his dog. That's poor little tutty. Yeah, that is sad. And John Wick is raging. Yes, you would be. Yeah. Yosef and his gang, they take the car to one of their trusted, dodgy car mechanics. Yeah, it's, what do you call him? Aurelio. Yeah, John Leguizamo.
John Leguizamo?
But he sees this car, he recognises this car.
Where'd you get that car?
And he calls Yosef an idiot, and he slaps him in the face. So later, Aurelio gets a call from Vigo, and Vigo says, I understand you struck my son. Yeah, Aurelio says, yes I did, sir. And Vigo says, may I ask why? And Aurelio says, well, he stole John Wick's car and killed his dog.
He what? He what?
And Vigo says, oh, and just hangs up. Vigo summons his son, and he explains to him what he's done. He explains to him, and us, who John Wick is. John Wick is like the most tiered assassin. He's the most ruthless killer in history. He's Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga.
What the Russians call the Daguinan, except he's not. He's the one who would send to kill the Daguinan. He's that scary. Vigo takes action to protect his son. He calls John Wick and says, John, can we talk about this? John just hangs up on him. So Vigo says, well, the only thing I can do to protect my son is send a hit squad after John. So that's what he does. So that night, John's expecting it. Like, John goes for a shower, and then he goes to his basement and digs up the floor, the concrete floor. Yeah, and he pulls out an arsenal of weapons. Yeah. So then, that night, the first nasty action scene, and it's huge, and it's cool, and there's flips, and there's kicks, and there's punches, and there's shooting, and there's acrobatics, and there's hiding, and there's dodging, and there's all sorts. It's pretty cool. It's really cool. It's really cool. And John takes out all the hit squad, obviously. 12 people. John Wick calls in the cleaners. Yeah, and John Wick goes and checks into a hotel. It's called the Continental, and it's where all assassins can go for a safe haven. No business shall take place on the grounds of the Continental. No killing or attacks or fighting allowed in the Continental. It's a trusted place, a sanctuary for assassins. He finds out loads of other assassins are there because Vigo has a $2 million bounty on his head. So John's at the Continental to prepare for his hunt of Yusuf. He heads to a nightclub where he knows Yusuf will be, and while he's there, he murders a security guard.
Isn't he supposed to be a good guy?
Yeah, and then kills one of Yusuf's mates, and then finds Yusuf in like the underground swimming pool in this nightclub. What kind of club is this? I don't know. Yusuf gets away, and he kills like 50 security guards. Yeah, it's a bit much, a bit extreme. They're just doing their job, John. He's a killer. He is a killer. In fact, to gain access to the club, Kevin Nash, professional wrestler who we've mentioned in a couple of other episodes, he's huge. He's almost 7 foot tall. John Wick sneaks up behind him and points a gun at him and says, "Take the night off." And Kevin Nash says, "Thank you, sir," and leaves. And that's all you need. Well, that's this whole scene. Kevin Nash is hired in this movie to be a massive, intimidating presence for 4 seconds, and that's him. Seems a bit of a wasted casting. They could have got another guy that size, that height, for, I'd imagine, a lot less money. Tragically. Then it's killed. Later, John Wick returns to the Continental. And while he's asleep, right, he's attacked by another assassin. Even though it's against the rules, this lady called Perkins, she attacks him, tries to kill him in his sleep. Yet she's been offered $4 million. So they have a fight in the hotel room. It's pretty back and forth, but then John gets the upper hand and throws Perkins through a sheet of glass in the room. Yeah, and he nearly kills her. But then he's like, "Tell me what's going on. How are you trying to kill me?" So she says, "Vigo offered me $4 million to take you out. Also, he keeps all his money in this church in the Russian part of town." The church it's not a real church, it's just a front. So John just knocks her out. Yeah, I mean, this is another thing. He's just murdered about 50 guys, but because this is a woman, I'm guessing, we don't want to see our hero murder a woman. I don't know. But he just knocks her out.
It's uncharacteristically civil of you.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's not a good guy, he's murdering everyone. So the next day, John goes to the church and burns all of Vigo's money, treasures, intel, everything.
LOL. Okay.
And then there's a bit of a shootout, and John Wick is captured. He's captured, he's knocked out. He wakes up tied to a chair, and he's surrounded by a load of goons. And Vigo questions him, saying, "Why wouldn't you let us go? It was just a stupid dog." Yeah, how rude. Dogs aren't stupid. Exactly. But he says, "Just a dog, just a car." And John explains to him, that dog was the last connection I had to my wife. And Vigo's like, "Oh, that's a sad story." Oh well, kill him. And he leaves. Yeah, one of the goons puts a plastic bag over John Wick's head. They're going to suffocate him. But luckily, Narcus, the sniper, is there. He's on the roof opposite this building as well. Yeah, somebody who knows everything that's going on. Takes out 2 of the goons with his sniper rifle, and then John Wick disposes of the others in a fight with knives and guns and the usual. So cool.
We've seen it before.
John manages to get outside just before Vigo leaves. He holds Vigo at gunpoint and says, "Tell me where your son is or I'll murder you." Yeah, and Vigo says, to his credit, he gives up his son instantly. "Cheers, Dad."
A loving father.
John says, "Okay, my business with you is finished. Thank you. Sorry, I'm going to kill your son."
Ain't I a stinker?
So Yusuf and some more of his mates and tons of armed guards are at this fortified warehouse. Yeah, John easily gets there, easily breaks in, easily kills all the guards one by one, and then it's just him and Yusuf. And he chases them through the grounds and eventually shoots him in the stomach. Yusuf falls onto his duct and he says, "Oh, what's your problem, Nan? It was just a dog."
He's just not a dog person.
And John just shoots him in the head. Yeah, I was expecting some sort of speech or some punishment or something, but he just shoots him in the head and walks off. The end. Not quite. No. Still got ages to go. So John checks out of the Continental, his business complete, so he thinks. They gets a phone call, and Vigo has taken Narcus. Perkins is helping Vigo. Yeah, they have Marcus at gunpoint. They're beating him up, torturing him, And eventually they kill him. So John's like, oh, I have to go and sort you out now. So he goes after Vigo. I mean, John could have just left it an eye for an eye sort of thing and understood that's the price you pay. But, yeah, or Vigo could have just left it and been like, I don't need to kill this narcissist guy. John rushes to the house where they're holding Marcus. He finds Marcus's dead body. We see Vigo and his goons leaving with Perkins. Perkins is expected to be paid $4 million. But instead, Vigo shoots her in the head. Because, again, we wouldn't want to see our hero shoot a woman, would we? And now it's suddenly night time again, because these movies always do this. It's suddenly night time, and there's a big car chase. John gets in his car, he chases Vigo and his goons. They're all in a few cars, takes out the goons easily, and then eventually it comes down to just Vigo and John. No weapons, no cars. They're standing in the rain, and they agree to fight to the death. Yeah, start to fight, right? And it's okay. And then Vigo tells out a knife, and he manages to stab John. And John gets a knife off him and stabs Vigo, and like half shoulder and half neck. And they both collapse in the rain. They're both lying there weak, exhausted, and Vigo knows he's dying. He says, see you later, John. John says, see you later, Vigo.
He's seeing you, John. Yeah. He's seeing you.
And then Vigo lays down and dies in the rain.
And R.I.P. to that absolutely beautiful monster.
John gets up, staggers off because he's weak. Yeah, he finds an office light and he's like looking for medical supplies, a first aid kit or something to help himself. And he stumbles into this room, and it's like a vet's office, I think it is. And it's filled with cages full of dogs. Loads of them.
What a coincidence.
I don't know if these dogs are just there because they're being cared for or what, but he decides, I'll just take one. Yeah, he's got a new thread now. Yeah, no, he's just stolen someone's dog though.
Was he a good guy?
And then we see the dog and John walking off together in the rain. And that's the end. And that is a glorious, glorious movie. I can't wait till it's John Wick 2, John Wick 3, John Wick 4. Well, in my opinion, if you've seen John Wick 1, you've seen John Wick 2, and you've seen John Wick 3, and you've seen John Wick 4, because it's the same thing again and again and again. It's fine, but it's, you know, it's not exactly great. It is great, it's amazing, it's one of the best things I've ever seen. Really? Yeah, it's so cool. We'll wait till you get to the third one when they start having bulletproof suit jackets. Haha, amazing. Not amazing. It takes away all the risk from John Wick, but I guess that's what audiences want these days. And people are like, oh, they're so much more intelligent than superhero movies. No, they're not. They are, they're the best ever. This is great, this movie. Hit like, hit subscribe. Okay, I was going to get my thoughts out. Nope, I know your thoughts, Mr. Negative. Hit like, hit subscribe, watch another video. We'll see you next time. John Wick rules.